You can see like regions of where people are, your subscribers are, right?
Yeah.
How many are in Flavortown? Because you want to be
they're all in Flavortown. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. I have my cast of characters here. My mom, Catherine, me, obviously, my channel, and James, my brother, right here. We have been on the Carnival Mardi Gras, as you probably saw from the last vlog, for the past 7 days. This is our last night. We just came back from the casino, where we did win after losing quite a bit, and we had dinner before that. And so today what we're going to do is tell you what we really thought of the Carnival Mardi Gras and have everybody here. It is Catherine's very first cruise ever, and it is me and mom's 5th cruise. No, mom has one more cruise than me. She actually sailed, she told us this on the trip, she actually sailed on the Carnival Mardi Gras, the older ship, in 1992 or
91 or 92.
1991 or 92.
Yes.
Obviously this is a different ship. And she said that was awful. And yeah, James's 4th cruise, right?
Yeah.
And your first time on Carnival.
Oh, and important to say, thank you, Mom. This is not Mom's first time on Carnival, though the last time she went was in the 90s. This is me and James' very first time, and obviously Catherine's first time on Carnival. And they gave us this cruise for free, and I will tell you how they gave us this cruise for free in the next video, so obviously subscribe.
Wait, were you pregnant with me if it was 91?
It was after I had you.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say it would be my 2nd Carnival cruise.
Always the comedian. So we'll talk about some good things, talk about some bad things. I feel like we should talk about the room, because we're in the room, obviously. I felt like the room was one of the best parts of the ship, especially the shower. I think we all loved the shower in our rooms. We have 2 rooms, by the way. This is 10257. They have 10253 right across. Yeah, the showers are amazing. I like the beds. They split the beds into 2, one for me, one for Mom, and Catherine and James have a shared bed. We have balcony rooms. We really like the balconies. Anybody else have any comments on the room?
They were able to open the balcony so that our 2 rooms can be together on the balcony.
Oh yeah, we loved that. Yeah, they could open the partition between the balconies so we could have like one longer balcony. Not the whole partition, but some of it.
Big closets with lots of ways to transform them, a lot of hangers, and really made a lot of room for all of our clothes.
Yes, the closets were definitely one of my favorite parts. I brought a lot of clothes. I don't usually pack that much, but I brought a lot of clothes for this trip, and I had hangers for almost all of them. I had to steal some of Mom's, but that was fun.
They also had a great hair dryer.
Ooh,
because I always bring my hair dryer because I have a lot of hair, and the hair dryer was really, really good. So I really appreciated that as well, and a lot of electrical outlets, all different kinds.
And use the hair dryer. The shower was tall enough for me.
Yes, James is 6'5", so that's
and short enough for me. I'm 5 feet, so very good taste.
Perfect.
And hot water for days.
Oh, yes.
Catherine generally takes showers in lava, and she got it hot enough to where she wanted it,
I
right?
did, it was great.
Take showers in lava. I like that description.
I also liked, so I read and watched videos on cruises before, and a lot of them said that the mini fridges in the rooms don't go cold, but these were super cold. My Diet Coke was like, it had like ice that you could feel how cold it was, so that was great. And I liked, you can't see it in the video, but this table thing, it was like storage, this blue thing here, and then you flipped the top, and then it turned into a tray table, and James used that when he worked, and it was really good.
Are you going to do a cut to the blue thing?
I'll do a cut to the blue
Oh.
thing. We'll show the blue thing right now.
Cut to the blue thing. Oh yeah.
Oh, how do I just the shout out? Oh my God. So I will say also about the room is the room attendant. Our room attendant was great. He was lovely. But there was only one room cleaning. And usually on other ships we've been in, there's like a room cleaning and then there's a turn down service afterwards, and they'll put like the towel animal on there. But they only had one room cleaning, and they just put the towel animal there at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And we talked to somebody on deck 8 today when we were hanging out on that deck, and they said that that's very unusual for Carnival, but we thought that was interesting on the ship, so that is something to note. And our room attendant was lovely. The room wasn't super clean. Every day I spilled some soda on the sheets, and
every day she spilled soda.
Every day I spilled soda on sheets, but he didn't change it for like 2 days. We had to ask them to change the sheets.
They never vacuumed while we were here.
They never vacuumed.
I never saw them vacuum the room.
No, they never changed the sheets.
No.
Oh, we thought that they did all of it. They just made the bed.
No.
Yeah, we
You just put the
realized-
pretty. Oh, they put the pretty animal.
They put the animals.
They put the animals to
You love the
sleep.
animals?
It took a few days to realize that they had not changed the sheets, because some of the sheets have little spots on them and things every once in a while. That we don't do, but they're there. And then you're like, wait, it still has that spot. What's going on? And then you realize that they never changed sheets.
Okay,
so I had to ask.
Danielle, pro tip: spill a little Diet Coke on your first day to see how often they change the sheets.
Yes. And I guess also in room, we can talk about room service. Which was very confusing just today, the last day of the trip. We learned that room service for breakfast until 10 o'clock in the morning was included. There's a little QR code, I will pop it up here. Like you scan it and it will show you the breakfast menu and you can call room service and order it and it's free. There on the app, on the Hub app, is a different sort of room service menu which has like 4 pizzas and like
chicken tenders.
And
that's it.
And it all costs.
Yeah.
And you have to go to the next screen to even look at the drinks, and it's like sodas and stuff.
It was like 5 drinks.
It was like 5 drinks, and we were shocked today. Mom found out accidentally that there was room service for breakfast.
I went to the actual phone on the wall to call room service.
She's not a millennial.
Can you send me coffee? And I looked to the right while I was on hold, and it said, see the menu. And I was like, wait, what is that? It's QR code. I used my QR code. I used my phone and it had a whole breakfast menu. So I called them and they said, oh, it's complimentary breakfast at 10 a.m. every day. So I was able to get, I didn't feel too good, but I was able to get coffee and some toast and jam for nothing. So I was very happy. You could have got eggs, you could have got everything, but I didn't really want much. But I was just surprised because we didn't know that. They never said it in the app.
So Danielle, pro tip, like James just said, order the room service. Use a little QR code right there. Oh, and so room service, I'm trying to do transitions here, but room service, food, going into the food, which we have like a lot of comments on the food on the ship.
And everyone's getting comfy to
Everyone's getting comfy to talk about the food. So I suppose the first thing about food should be, Catherine is vegan. She's vegan. She did a lot of research about this ship and how to get the vegan offerings and stuff. So we got on the ship and we went to dinner our first night, right? At Cucina del Capitano. Did they ask you the first night? They were like, did you put in your order?
Yes, they asked, did you put in a special order? And I was thinking, we just got here, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No. And like you said, because I'd researched everything, there was nothing mentioned online about special order or order before you get here. It just said when you get here, talk to your server or your host. And you said your brother had traveled on Carnival with vegans, and he said, yeah, just tell them when you get there.
Just tell the maitre d' and they will set you up.
So yeah, I had no idea what they were talking about.
And for days we went through this.
Yeah, she was chastised night after night for about 3 nights. Did you put in the special order? And we're like, we don't know how to do that.
And they blamed her. They kept saying it was her fault.
Yeah.
They were getting a little touchy at certain points, and then at one point, all 3 of us, when the 3 of us went for dinner, we were like, no one's told us how to do that. Like, I think we just got so exasperated because they kept saying this, but no one was telling us how to do it, even on the first night. And yeah, then they started getting a little annoyed. Well, we're just telling you, we're just letting you know, you should have blah blah blah. And then he went on. Yeah. I'm like, listen, I tried. I did all I could. Okay, dramatic. So
for the last 3 nights, she's had good dinners.
But what? Yes.
Yes, so after we finally got the special order, how it worked is that on the night, so just say it was a Monday night, and you're eating your dinner, and then before you leave the restaurant, they'll come around and ask you what you want for the next night, because all the menus are on the app or the QR code, so you can check. And then so I would say, oh, I want this, this, and this, and they tell the chef, and then they make that, they veganize that, or whatever you're, you know, if you're gluten-free, they'll make it gluten-free. So that is actually really good, and so they organize that all the night before, so then your food will come at the same time, because all those other nights where I didn't have the special order place, my food came out at different times compared to everyone else's, like some points, like quite a bit later. So it was a good system, and I thought that was really good. It would have been helpful if we knew a bit about it.
You have to clarify what restaurant you're eating at the next night, though.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Full meat eater here, however, but so if she want to get Chipang the next night, you gotta let them know, and they will get it over to Chipang.
Oh yes.
Which I thought was surprising. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's tough to trust them to give to the other restaurant, but they did.
I was impressed they did, because we kept asking, like, so you'll definitely tell the other restaurant. So yeah, they took my specialty dining order in the main dining room, and yeah, we were all like, I don't know. But then when we got to the shebang and they read out what I'd put the night before, so I was impressed.
But we should probably talk about shebang and your moldy cheese. So Catherine got a vegan meal at shebang. She had ordered specific dishes to be sent, and everything seemed wonderful. And then, what even was the meal?
It was the only Mexican thing I ordered. Everything else I ordered was from the Chinese menu, and it was a mushroom taco. And I think it had like cheese and sour cream. So I thought, this is easy to veganize. All they need to do is not bring those things and bring everything else. Then they brought over a plate that had a little cheese on it, and I was already a little suspicious because I was like, do they have vegan cheese on this cruise? Because if so, where has it been? For like, where have I could have had it every day. So I was like, okay. So then I made James taste test it to check it was vegan. He said, okay, that tastes fun, because vegan cheese always tastes a little funny. So he said, okay, that tastes a little funny, that's definitely not cheese. So I was like, okay, I could be good. So I tried a little bit, and immediately I was like, this doesn't taste right. But I've been eating vegan cheese for 3 years now, and I was like, it's not vegan cheese taste. And then I got this taste, it was like blue cheese, and I thought, that's definitely not right. Why does it taste like blue cheese? That's so strange. And then I looked down and saw there was mold in the cheese, like little fluffy blue mold on some of the grated cheese strands. So I had to slyly spit it out of my napkin, and then I had to tell everyone, and then we had to do Millennials' Worst Nightmare, which is tell the staff that there was mold on the food. And at first he was like, are you sure it's mold and not just flavor? I was like, sir,
Flavor.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure it's mold. So that wasn't fun.
They do a lot of blaming on this ship.
Yes, they do. They
turn it around on you a lot.
Yeah.
We don't stand victim blaming in this household.
No.
But Carnival do.
Yeah.
This cruise hold.
In this cruise. We were told also by many people that work for Carnival that they are very focused on like the bottom line and cost cutting. Like every time we would ask like about a vegan meal or just changing something a little bit, we were definitely told like Carnival's like cost cut, like they are looking at the bottom line, all this kind of stuff. We were like, okay, but just like, how about some vegan food, please?
That's not moldy. That's
not,
all I'm asking for.
Yeah, that's not moldy. It would really be helpful, Carnival, if you would maybe just have a vegan option on each menu, or have like a gluten-free option, like something that you can just choose instead of all this work that was not even known.
Yeah, or even a vegetarian dish that could be easily veganized.
Exactly.
Yeah, because every night when I picked something, I tried to pick the one that, you know, was so easily, that I could tell was like, okay, this could be made vegan quite easily. But yeah, just having that option, or even, yeah, just have vegetarian, say, make it vegan underneath, just ask or something. That would, like a lot of restaurants do now, that would be a lot easier.
What did you do with the spinach salad? They just gave you spinach.
This is how they made the spinach salad vegan. With it used to have blue cheese on it, but how they made it vegan, they just took the blue cheese off and the dressing. So it was spinach and
spinach with walnuts placed on top.
Beautiful, healthy vegan meal.
They did have a lot of choices for dinner for everybody else. There was a large amount of choices. You can only pick 2 of each category, or they charge you extra. But there were a lot of choices. They may not have been great, but there were a lot of choices.
I think you should talk about your shebang experiences while we're on shebang. Because everyone was so excited about shebang.
Shebang was the thing we all most look forward to, I think. We are a family that really likes Chinese food and Mexican food too. But we were most looking forward to shebang, and I feel like, at least for me, my meal, I think it was Sichuan shrimp, really didn't have a taste. The noodles were bleh. Can't even think about it anymore because it's so unremarkable. We were supposed to, I think for dinner I most enjoyed the food that was at the main dining room, which I didn't expect, because I feel like all of the videos were saying how great like shebang and cucina del capitano was, and we had cucina del capitano the first night. I really do, I will say, Carnival, I like the fact that you can just, if you have scheduled dining like we did, we had the late dining at 7:45, you can check in on the app at 7:45 to try to dine at Cucina del Capitano and shebang, which are included as of when we're filming this video. And that was really cool to just be able to check in and go to those restaurants. They would notify us in the app when the table was ready. That was really cool. But the restaurants were just like, not great.
And they try to push wine on you to buy wine. This
that
man,
first night.
Yeah.
the waiter, he kept pushing, no, you want to try this wine. You want to drink this wine. And then I told him, I don't drink. Well, you should still get this wine. I don't drink. You should get this wine. This is great. This does this. And I said, what are you not hearing? I don't drink.
Yeah.
So they are worried about the bottom line. They do have to push those things, and it's sad. I mean, we've seen people come around with drinks all day trying to push shots on you because they have to. They have a quota, I think.
But I will say, for a ship that's so focused on like the drink package and stuff, the times that we went up to the bar to get drinks, like the red tiki frog, we don't drink that much, but the tiki bar upstairs, it was so incredibly crowded. It was very difficult to get a drink. So if I had the drink package, I would be kind of annoyed at how long it takes to get a drink, because I feel like the bars are never staffed properly here. What was interesting was we've been in the casino the past few days, and I feel like the servers that give you drinks at the casino are more attentive, or come around more often, or give you more drinks than, say, the bartenders at the other places.
To be fair, we didn't order any drinks on the deck.
Yeah.
We did.
Maybe we did. Catherine and I went up there.
We were pina colada it up.
We were pina colada it up. Yes, I went over to the one at Serenity, the adults only section, and we went a couple times, I think, to the one at the main deck, and it just took forever for somebody to get our attention. People were cutting in front of us. It was like a regular bar on the mainland, and I was just like, But for food options on the ship, besides all the
street eats,
vegan gay, yes, street eats, I would say I really like the options for the food, the quick service on the ship. I would say our least favorite, would we say, was Guy's Burger Joint.
Yeah.
Makes us sad.
I think they made them ahead of time, and they had them sitting there, because I ended up getting sick. I think they had it sitting there for a while, because you'll ask for the burger, and they had a whole bunch of them, and they just put it on the bun, and it wasn't very good. I mean, we like Guy, but it wasn't very good.
Yes.
And very disappointing, because we expected that to be wonderful.
We should say we love you, Guy Fieri. We watch so much
Food
Network here in the ship. So much Food Network. But we liked Pig and Anchor pretty well, which is also Guy.
You can see like regions of where people are, your subscribers are, right?
Yeah.
How many are in Flavortown? Because you want to be
they're all in Flavortown. I mean, they all appreciate Guy, I would hope. The Shack's Big Chicken was pretty decent. The breakfast, I was not a huge fan of, but the fries.
Those fries were next level.
Everybody should make their fries though. Thin and crispy fries, Shack.
Here's a picture.
We did it. Here's a picture. But we loved the fries. But I would probably say our favorite, like Blue Iguana.
I loved Blue Iguana.
Yes.
I would say if anyone's watching this and knows any vegans going on the Mardi Gras, Blue Iguana is great. It's so easy to make it vegan, because it's kind of like their version of Chipotle, really. And it tasted really good. I think I had one every day, pretty much, when I could. It was great.
Blue Iguana and Street Eats. Mom's favorite quick service was absolutely from Street Eats. Pronounce it for me.
Bulgogi? What is it called? Bulgogi? I don't know how to say it.
Bulgogi beef. Bulgogi.
Yes,
the South Korean.
So, that was the best thing I ate on the whole ship.
Yeah, that was her favorite, which we were surprised. She's never eaten bulgogi before.
It was so good.
She has eaten bulgogi before.
I don't know.
Has she eaten bulgogi before?
So my birthday, Korean barbecue.
Probably.
You were all there.
But in Shebang, when they gave us the beef and broccoli, it was nothing like that, and it was slimy, and it wasn't very good. The noodles were okay, but it wasn't very good. Their food was not very good at all.
Yeah, I would say Street Eats has better Asian food than Shebang.
Worse hours though.
Worse hours. Yes, I guess we'll talk about also the hours of the quick service. Like, we went on our Mahogany Bay stop, we were all craving some Blue Iguana when we got back on the ship, and it was closed, and that was really frustrating.
And the salad place, what's it called?
Oh, Fresh Creation.
It's open for like 2 hours.
Yes, Fresh Creations.
We always missed it.
Yeah, Fresh Creations is on the Serenity deck, the 18 only. I think it's 18 over. And that's only open for 2 hours.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
But when we had it one day, it was great. James and I had it. We loved it.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was a great salad.
The hours of the quick service, they're frustrating, and it feels like there's always something open, but it's you don't really want to travel somewhere. There's a lot of different types of food on the ship, and if you are partial to food, like partial to Asian food or partial to Mexican food, or if you have a diet where you want to look for certain things, and then it not be open but have something else open. That's really frustrating.
Anybody watching ever find Shawarma Station, please comment below.
We never found the Shawarma Station in Lido.
It's open for 2 hours in the middle of Lido Marketplace. Couldn't find it.
I will say when we had food today, we did Blue Iguana and Street Eats, and I saw when we were walking through Lido Marketplace like a cauliflower asada, and I think it was vegan, but it was cauliflower with like chili flavoring and like pineapple salsa, and I thought that was pretty delicious, but I never saw it before this last day of the cruise. So the food, I feel like you can't really rely on something if you like it and you want to go back to it. Like, so just make sure you look in the hub app for the hours and don't really crave something and then come back and it be closed, because that's really sad.
The last food place, pizza and panini.
Sandwiches, yeah.
Yes, pizza and sandwiches, and they made some changes to the sandwiches for you to make them vegan, which was pretty nice.
That was really nice, because you said that you saw someone ask for a customized sandwich and they said no, but when I asked, they were fine. They were fine to do that, so it was really nice that I got that, and they tasted great.
And the pizza was really good. I only had it the one day because every time I went over there was never any pizza. So today I waited online for about 20 minutes until the pizzas came out of the oven. Didn't bother anybody, with a bunch of people there, and the pizza was very, very good. But it's hit or miss whether you can get it or not.
It's true. It was weird to like learn how to wait in the line for the pizza and make sure you didn't anger the guy. I'm sure he's lovely, but it was just, he seemed a bit temperamental for people that didn't know how to navigate the line.
But there's 5,800 people on board.
Yeah, there are 5,800 people.
You will be in lines. You will have lines for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, for water. I mean, there's lines for everything.
Any other food comment?
The Pig and Anchor has an espresso machine.
Yes!
And it's included.
Danielle,
and you can get espresso or really good coffee there where other places don't have such good coffee.
Yes.
Without buying the drink package. This is the only place
we didn't buy the drink package.
For free.
The only place that we found free espresso in the machine was Guy's Pig and Anchor on the 8th floor. So make sure you go.
So thank you, Guy.
Thank you, Guy.
You've redeemed yourself.
Yes,
After
from the burger joint.
And they had really good bacon for breakfast and tater tots.
They didn't have that
Pig
today.
and Anchor. Oh, when I went. So you never know what they're gonna have.
Yeah, they had the same breakfast that's like the Lido breakfast.
Same breakfast as Lido today. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
I guess we should let's talk about entertainment a little bit. So obviously I work on Broadway, very into entertainment and shows, and I dragged my family to many a show. But it was hard to drag them to any show because the way that Carnival schedules their shows is very confusing. From our Disney Wish videos and from knowing about other cruise ships, you may know that they'll have an early show and then they'll have a later show and they'll schedule it around the dinners. It was very weird how they scheduled the shows. There were a lot of different shows. There was some shows in the center stage area, the main kind of hub sort of area on the ship. And then there were shows in the Mardi Gras Theater. And the way they scheduled it, sometimes they would schedule shows to be on at the same time. Today, the last night, they scheduled both shows to be on around 7:20, 7:30, 7:45 when we were at dinner. So we couldn't see a show tonight, which was sad because I heard that the show, I think it was called We Are One, was pretty good, but we couldn't see that because we were having dinner. The Broadway Beach show was pretty good. I was worried it might have been kind of weird, but it was good. I've never thought I would see a show that shouted out to Beacon's Closet, a thrift store on 13th Street, as well as sing songs from Kinky Boots and Dear Evan Hansen, and also sing Rich Girl by Gwen Stefani, which was not in a Broadway show.
They were very talented though.
Yes, the casts were definitely very talented. I will say Carnival kind of tries to shove magic down your throat. This is something we have never seen on a cruise ship before.
Even the one called Magic.
M Theory, right?
No, wait, wasn't he on the cruise ship called Magic? No.
Oh, on the Disney Magic. The Disney Magic didn't even try to shove magic down our throats this much. A direct quote from Mom, "You know this ship has made me hate magic, right?" They tried, for every show that was in the center stage, they would have like 30 minutes of magic before they would actually start like the performance of the show, like the singing and dancing. And it was quite frustrating. The magician is fine. I'm sure he's wonderful. But
see, okay, so you see M Theory. M Theory's trash, don't bother.
Oh. I think
you're
you
like,
harsh.
okay, it's not his fault.
Written and produced by Carnival.
Yeah, they very clearly say it's written and produced by Carnival. And then he comes out again on the next show, still trash. And then the next time, and you know, maybe he's nice, he's French, but you gotta hear it, man.
And he blamed the girl. He blamed one of the cruise goers for messing up his trick.
Yeah.
And she didn't do anything.
He was like, if you had done it right, then you would have gotten this.
Yeah,
it was
so
just it was very weird. I didn't expect this much tragic. Also, when we were at dinner one night, a guy came up to our table in a suit, and we thought he might have been a manager or something, and he came and was like, hi, would you like to see some magic? And we thought it was a joke. We were like, he looked like he was also maybe 24 years old. And just he had a very big suit on, and it was
Oh, we never saw him again after that.
No, I saw him tonight.
Oh, yeah?
When I went to the bathroom, I saw him standing there.
What was
I
he
felt
doing?
really, he was just standing there, but then he was dancing on the way back. But I felt really bad because he actually seemed really sweet. Like, he seemed sweet.
Okay, yeah, but like, what's his job? That's fair. One big problem is that they don't make it clear what the main show is. So Disney's always like, tonight's Aladdin, Broadway style show. And then the cruise director introduces it. But here, you have the two shows happening at the same time, one on the center stage, one in the Mardi Gras, and you don't know which one is like the show.
Because last night they had both Voodoo Moon, which is in the center stage and has a lot of like Southern rock songs and a lot of magicians and aerial like stunts.
Yeah, they were
and
amazing.
then Broadway beats. And obviously, I want to see Broadway beats. But we also really wanted to watch Voodoo Moon. And so what we were doing each night with the shows when they were scheduled like that was we would see the first maybe 20 minutes of the show, which was usually magic. And we would try to see it before we go to dinner. And then we'd catch the actual show we were going to watch at the 9:30 show, which was frustrating because we wanted to see more shows. So the way they scheduled the shows was really frustrating on the ship. But the performers were really talented. The entertainment, the fun squad on this cruise has been wonderful. The cruise director, Donkey, we love him. He's wonderful. Yeah, we had a good time entertainment-wise, but the way they scheduled it was so frustrating. And I really like the way that the center stage area, the 3 levels are. Oh, and also I guess for entertainment, we should talk about bingo. We all really like bingo on cruise ships. We play it all the time. The host was great, but the bingo on the ships was also very expensive, number one. And kind of like, I don't want to say insincere, but like, so there was a win a cruise bingo and 5 people won the game, but not all 5 people won the cruise. They had to like do a special drawing to see who would win the cruise, and then the other people would win other money. So it felt just kind of like not great. So we decided not to do bingo again. We only did bingo once this cruise, and for us, that's kind of a big deal. But we did enjoy the casino here on the ship. We were in there quite a few nights. The machines are on the expensive side. We really like penny slots and playing them like quickly and just spending a lot of time on those machines. These are a little bit more expensive, but we did end up finding machines that we enjoy. So I guess we'll talk about other things on the ship or just how it works. I've never been on, I don't think we've ever been on a cruise ship quite this big and new. Also, this ship, I believe, I want to say that it debuted, I'll probably put it down here, but it debuted in 2021. But there were a lot of things that we noticed. The ship is very new, but we noticed in the elevator, I will pop this up here, like the wallpaper was like ripped in the elevator. There are stains on this couch that we didn't make. It's in the room tour. There are a lot of things that are messed up on this cruise for being such a new ship, which was interesting to me. Also, there was a roller coaster on the ship called the Bolt that we all really wanted to ride. We had been checking the app to see if we could get tickets to ride Bolt. Catherine has been checking and she finally got us tickets to ride Bolt.
And it cost extra.
And it cost $15 a person. And then we wanted to ride Bolt and we finally got the reservation. And that day it kind of was raining and windy for like a half hour. And we thought, oh, maybe they'll cancel. They ended up canceling and refunding it. But then we went up there and we were told that the Bolt was closed for the rest of the cruise. And that was really frustrating because we wanted to ride it. And that's one of the kind of the selling points of the ship. Also, my brother and Catherine noticed that the ropes course was closed, right, James?
Yes.
The ropes course was closed.
The only time we saw it open was the very first day.
For the ropes.
When we were the sail-off party, we saw people on it. And then after that, I don't think I saw
Yeah, I
anybody
don't think
on
I
it.
saw anybody in the ropes course the rest of the cruise.
And that was at the same time that we had the flume gate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about as well, the water slides. Do you want to talk about your experience?
Yeah, so we wanted to go hit up some water slides, and they were closed. And we asked why, and they said, oh, we're having some water issues, we need to refill everything, and then test the pH of it, which is understandable. So we played some mini golf. Mini golf was all right.
That's because you lost.
Oh, here you go. She's Scottish. We meant to golf.
Did he really? I didn't know that. You're learning anything with Scottish meant to golf.
So we played mini golf. We finished. Still wasn't done. We sat. We read some books, and then we were waiting. And then finally, I opened it up, and this one guy, like 30-year-old finance-looking bro. I know this is not relevant.
James, you're older than him. Why are you?
I said guy, I didn't say kid. This one youngin, 30 years old, finance bro. He ran up, ready to go, and then he got on one of the slides. They were like, oh, it's ready. So we start going up. We're real excited, and then the guy gets in front of us again because he like was running, like I said. So he was in front of me, and then he went onto the orange one, and then I was next, and I was just about ready to jump on the blue one, and then they stopped me and said, hold on, and then all of the water suddenly cut off. And they said, oh, the water's off again. It's gonna be at least 30 more minutes, and we have to test the pH again. And
we left.
We left.
So
we didn't get to do the bowl.
No.
We didn't get to do the ropes course. We didn't get to do any water slides. We did mini golf.
And that area is called the Ultimate Playground. It wasn't a lot of play going on in the playground.
Ooh, I like that quote.
And I talked to guest services about it, and their attitude was, there's nothing we can do, and maybe next time you come.
That's also something I want to talk about is guest services on the ship. It's kind of like the Wikipedia article of the ship. We went and asked them like very specific questions, and they kind of repeat to you what you can find on the app. And we would say, oh no, we checked the app, like can you answer this and this and this? And they would just kind of give us like very scripted, very vague answers.
It wasn't just guest services, it was pretty much everybody.
Pretty much
When
everybody.
we asked about why when the ropes course is open again, they said, do you have the app? Check the times on there.
Yeah, and I can kind of see, I'm sure there's a bunch of people on the cruise that don't have the app, or they maybe go straight to guest services because they have a question and they don't want to look it up themselves. So I can see why maybe that would be their first answer, you know, I can understand that. But if you say, you know, I've already looked at that, this is, you know, that information isn't available, or whatever you say, yeah, like you said, they still don't have an answer to that, so it's like, okay, that's frustrating, because that should be why you're there. And like, and I don't always think I don't really think it's the fault of the individual workers, because clearly I think they just haven't been trained as well as Carnival should train them, really.
Exactly. That is something, you know, I've noticed multiple people leaving guest services and being frustrated. Also, I mean, there were other things frustrating too, like speaking of the state of the ship for being a new ship, there was a time when we went to Lido Marketplace and the machines for soda and water were broken in most of them in the place, and this guy was so frustrated with that, he kept asking them which one was working, and they weren't working, and he said that he was going to blow up the ship. And we thought that was outlandish, but also everybody a lot of people have seemed very frustrated with the ship that we've talked to.
And then I told one of the attendants that it was broken, and he said, no, it's not. And I said, yes, they're both broken on both sides, and he said, that's not. And then I saw a different attendant, and I told that one, and then he said, let me go look. And then he went and came back and said, yeah, it's broken. I said, yes, how did we get water? And then he said, it's broken. I said, okay. And then I asked a different one, and then that one went in the back and got me water, and then they fixed it.
Just some frustrating things.
The overall sentiment is corners are being cut.
Yes.
Definitely.
For money. And I'm gonna get political on your channel. Because they're trying to fill their investors' pockets and their C-suite with more money and get them record profits instead of paying the actual hard workers on the ship who deserve it.
They do deserve it.
But it's true, because we've talked to a couple of workers that told us, I spoke to one while we were at a port, and I was at one of the pools, and I was talking to one of the workers, and he was from the Philippines, very nice, and he just told me that he is so burned down. He's worked 70 days in a row, no days off. He doesn't get to get off the ship. He didn't think he signed up for that. He said many of the workers on the ship do not have days off. They get like an hour and a half here and there, and that's it. And he never gets to sleep much, and he didn't know that this is what he signed up for. And we do see a lot of them that look very tired, very frustrated. Some of them are angry, it feels like, and they just don't want to do anything because they're just tired.
Yeah.
And I wish that Carnival would look at that and think about that, because that's not fair to them either.
Yeah, that's definitely been something that we've noticed on the ship. It's just a kind of tinge of tiredness and frustration. And also, like James was just talking about with the nickel and diming, like it costs $5 for each of us to use the chat feature on our app.
And mine doesn't work.
To talk to each other. And Mom's doesn't work. And James's sometimes doesn't work. We have a group chat of the 4 of us. James doesn't get most of them. Mom doesn't get any of them. So that's really frustrating. You pay $5 for that just not to work. And probably if we go to guest services, they're just going to be like,
do you have the app?
Do you have the app?
Do you know
Check on the app.
But it has a potential to be a wonderful ship. It has the potential to be a wonderful
It really does, yeah.
because they do have everything. They just don't utilize it in the way they should all the time.
It doesn't matter as long as they're going to get any better.
But the people do work very, very hard.
Absolutely.
And I think that they're just overworked,
Yeah.
a lot of them. And if they weren't, maybe it'd be a better experience for them and for us.
Yeah, I was overheard some of the staff members and other cruise goers in the bathroom, and they were saying that they have to wait 9 months for a vacation. So I guess, yeah, I don't know if I would obviously like to think they have days off in between, but it probably is like what you're saying, very short, and they don't get like any break for 9 months, which obviously is awful, and it makes you feel kind of guilty, and yeah, it's just not a nice feeling. And especially like we've all said, that although we've had some like frustrating conversations, the staff work so hard, and most of them are amazing, and yeah, we just wish they had more power and say, and yeah, Carnival treated them better, because it would show, yeah, if you treat the staff better, it shows up elsewhere.
We've been on Royal Caribbean and Disney, and I think the staff on those ships seems, I mean this is conjecture, but seems happier than they do on this ship. And the staff here do work very, very hard, and we feel like they should be treated that way. Anyways, end political rant. We should talk about Mahogany Bay and what we thought of it, because that was probably one of our top experiences on this trip. We did decide to pay extra to have a day bed for the 4 of us, and service, and like a private area of the beach. I think it's called like Blue Lagoon or something like that. But it was well worth it, even though the credit card machine with the chairlift was broken. I think I had that in the vlog from the trip. But that was a bit frustrating, but once we got there, it was wonderful. So we definitely recommend getting those day beds if you can. I would say Mahogany Bay was very surprising, and that it was pretty good, because we didn't think Carnival would have like kind of the Castaway Cay or Coco Cay kind of experience that maybe Royal Caribbean or Disney did.
And we loved the Mayan ruins.
Oh, we did, yes.
Excursion. That was the short excursion.
Yes. The short excursion that we did, which actually I think our first short excursion that we've done on cruising was to the Chachoven ruins, the Mayan ruins. We really enjoyed those. And Daniel Jr. was our guide, and he was lovely.
He was great.
He was great. Yeah, we had a really great time at those ruins, and that was the first short excursion we've done, and really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty worth it. Don't be sad.
I'm tired.
Okay.
My summary is that a lot of the review is quite negative, I guess, because it didn't have anything to compare it to. I still had a great time, like we were talking about if we rated it out of 10. I gave it an 8.5, but then I'm bringing down the 0.5 for the moldy cheese. So the top 2 like disappointing things were obviously moldy cheese, and then 2 was Bolt, because we were so excited about Bolt, and I was so excited to finally get a spot, but yeah, we didn't really get a good explanation as to why it was closed. But aside from that, like we had such a great time. We loved the pools and the hot tub. Just like, I had a great time. I took the time off work and I made the most of it, and I still really had a great
And the
time.
sail away party, you loved it.
Oh yeah, we were dancing away.
Yeah, the sail away party, that was so good. And the infinity pool today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it loved the infinite
And
pool.
there's always chairs.
Oh, that
you
was
just gotta
great.
look, but there's always chairs, and they're very padded, and they're really classy, really great.
Especially in the adults only area. And I loved Family Feud. That was fun.
Yeah.
And the marriage, Love and Marriage.
Oh, Love and Marriage, loved that. That was so
Hysterical.
fun. Yeah, so I still had a really great time. Just wanted to make that
Yeah,
clear.
it's not all negative.
It's not all negative, but also speaking of the Bolt, they never put on the app that it was closed.
Yeah.
And it still had options to try to make reservations. There were just no reservations, but we knew that it was closed for the rest of the cruise. Anyways, a family that has been on the cruise before, what would you rate this cruise? And based on the actual price of the cruise, which was around for 2 rooms, given how much this cruise would cost for the average patron, Would you recommend this cruise to others?
What was the cost?
About $4,500 for 2 rooms.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. James barely didn't know how much the cruise was.
Wait, so that's $1,250 a person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, no.
Not for $1,250 a person.
I don't think I did. No, I think like 800. How many days was cruise?
7.
So like
It was
100 a day. I think is
fair.
You know, there's all those extra costs. I did work on this cruise, which was actually pretty fine. The Wi-Fi was pretty fast, and it worked everywhere on the whole ship.
But they did block websites you needed for work, right?
They did block some websites I needed for work. I work in CBD and hemp. And they blocked some CBD sites. And if you need to do 2-factor authorization, you can't.
Yes.
Because your phone, only the one device works with the internet. So that's frustrating because I need to access Facebook for my job. But the Wi-Fi was available everywhere, especially if you're just surfing. That's good.
But that was the highest Wi-Fi.
What?
The most expensive Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was the most premium, expensive Wi-Fi. It was ended up being about $130, I think. But I should have booked it before we got on the cruise. Make sure you do that, because otherwise, we checked halfway through the cruise and it was $130 for the rest of the days. So about half. But no, I wouldn't pay that much for $1,250. No, I wouldn't pay that much because you have to pay for so much other things. If it was all included, if that included drinks, does that include drinks?
No.
No. That doesn't include excursions.
You have to pay gratuities.
You have to pay gratuities, you have to pay taxes. No, I would max $700
Per person.
per person.
And we have a balcony room.
With a balcony room, with all the food. Yeah, that's probably my max on that.
What would you say, Mom?
Same thing.
Same thing?
$100 a day. They need work on it. They really do.
Yeah.
And they need work on their guest services and on the way that they act towards the customers sometimes.
Yeah.
If you ask a question and not blame us or other people. But yeah, $100 a day would have been my limit on this one. I mean, other cruises, maybe not, but on this one, definitely $100 a day because you still got to pay for gratuities on top of that and for taxes. So it's even more than that.
It is important to note this is our first Carnival cruise that we've ever taken, and we decided to choose this ship because it was newer and more akin to maybe an experience that we've had before, say on Royal Caribbean or on a Disney ship, even though the Disney Wish that we most recently went on was a little bit more expensive than this cruise. But I will say the nickel and diming was a bit frustrating with the chat, with the Wi-Fi. Just the charging was a little excessive, and then to have things maybe not work, like the bolt, even though you were going to pay extra for it, was frustrating. I'm just surprised that the ship is so new, and that's why we chose it, but yet there are so many things that are already falling apart, and the service is at the level sort of it is, given how new the ship is. Maybe they were understaffed with what we were talking about, the room cleaning, because our room attendant was great, but that I also will say about Carnival, I was surprised that they didn't give us envelopes to tip the servers as well as the room attendant, which is pretty standard on other cruise ships that we've been, and I feel that's unfair to the attendants as well as the servers. So that is something to note as well. I just noticed a different treatment of the servers and attendants and the people that work so hard on the ship on this, and I don't know if that's a Carnival thing or maybe just the ship in general, the culture, but I did notice that. But anyways, I will say for me, I did really enjoy the variety of food that they had. I enjoyed for the most part the app because it was really easy to navigate, especially to have all the food menus just on the app. We only received an actual food menu, a proper one that you can hold in your hand one day at Shebang, and I didn't miss it for the other days. So it was really easy to access on my phone. So I really like that they're going in that direction, but to kind of charge you for chatting with another room on the app is $5 for it, not even to work well, was ridiculous. Also, we kept getting a ridiculous amount of notifications on the app. Sometimes it would send us 20 notifications and be like, and flood our phones, which was they definitely need work on that app, but there's so much potential, as we've talked about. The pieces are there, but I agree with my family that I would probably only pay maybe $700 to $800 per person for this cruise. So that has been what we really thought of the Carnival Mardi Gras. Thank you for staying with us for so long. This video is going to be more podcast form. I feel like a long video of us just talking. But thank you for staying for this video. If you made it all the way through, I really appreciate it. And stay tuned also for the next video of how we got this this cruise for free. Our 2 rooms, our 4 people. We just had to pay port taxes and fees, but I think you'll definitely want to check out that video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Make sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell down there if you want notifications on the next hot vid drop. Peace.
Peace. Oh my god, thank you guys. It's been almost an hour.